Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2 from the ESL Pro Tour Open Cup Finals Korea. Number 61. We have a team kill, though everybody on this team will win, being in the top 2 of the Open Cup. First, let me introduce. You know him, you love him, and most importantly, because of who he is and how he plays, you can empathize with him. The People's Terran! In the top left, Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Cure. And in the bottom right, the man who forges his own path, who plays Zerg the way he wants it to be played. Maybe not the way it's meant to be played, but he has his own strong-willed and even stronger executed style. And he does it with no mercy for people on his team or otherwise. In the bottom right, it is Dark. Jimmy, the Dark! Like and subscribe if you're a big fan of these ESL Pro Tour Open Cup Finals. I shouldn't say the whole thing every time. But every week, seeing the best. I mean, it's not a minute chunk of change. First place on each server is $200. Second place is $100. Third and fourth get $50 apiece. So it brings out, and Cure the blue-collar Terran, of course, is well-versed in these more common, but maybe smaller prize tournaments. For many years, I've talked about it before, but for over half a decade now, Cure he shows up if it's 9 a.m. Korea or 9 a.m. Europe. Doesn't matter what server, he's there, he's ready for it. Maybe a little bit less so lately, but up until a couple years ago, Cure, he stepped up to the plate, alright? He got promoted to assistant to the manager of Terran. He's finally making some plays. He's getting deep in tournaments. On fundamentals, alright? On fundamentals and Widow Mines. So, which are a fundamental part of playing Terran well, especially nowadays. Okay, Dark Brenda gets bounced around a little. Oh. Get off my lawn! Come on, we both know you're not beyond. Cure's Reaper acknowledges its faults and moves on with its life with no attempt to snipe that creep tumor. Meanwhile, the classic Terran meta now. We are in full It used to be the full Terran build. Full Terran it's a little different now, but full Terran was essentially go 3cc and then complain if your opponent attacks you. In Legacy of the Void, it's now done with a little bit more acknowledgement of needing units, of like actually getting a starport and having some Hellions and active scouting. But the 3cc builds are here to stay, it seems. I thought the Zergs would start punishing them more, but it's been several months of seeing, more often than not, Terrans just whipping out a third command center, putting that 400 mineral down payment before even investing in a starport. Because you can see the logic, though. A lot of the time, the Terran units you get out of effect... Oh my god, just blocking the drone got him. A lot of the time, it's not so much about how exactly quickly you get Hellions or a Banshee. You can delay them 20-30 seconds, and they can serve a lot of the same purpose. It's not the same as building up, say, like 16 Marines for a medevac drop or something like that. Okay, thank you, Dark. Thank you, Dark. I want to give a big thank you to Dark. Or Absence of Light, as he's known in pedantic circles. For just building 8 roaches. I do want to see how this plays out. There's a Banshee on the way, the obvious choice for some early defense. But one Banshee is going to have a tough time. I don't know if the Queens are going to come across. There's not that many Queens. I don't think Cure's expecting this, but there's already one Banshee on the field. Oh, well. Oh. Oh, come on, Dark. No, God. Terrans can't keep getting away with it. One Banshee, and he's like, Oh, I guess this isn't... Yeah, well, he's not gonna go... He knows you have roaches now. So he's not gonna, like, go try to harass the Banshees. Yeah, so Dark made a bunch of roaches, hamstringing his own economy and delaying his upgrades and lair tech. And then, apparently, he neglected to realize the well, so they're gonna do nothing. The roaches are, several of them will die, and all of this will be for nothing. Okay, well, this might be why Terrans go 3cc. This was possibly the most half-hearted attempt to punish it. I think Dark didn't build a bunch of Zerglings or anything even before he saw the Banshees, so I don't think he was trying to go all in with it or anything. But losing 5 roaches, killing nothing, I don't think was the trade he was looking for. I'm not a financial advisor, but I think losing everything and gaining nothing is not ideal. Brenda, both knitting crews coordinating, but the Banshees can fly. Couldn't we? We talked about this. Oh, the Queens. Are the Banshees actually trapped? No. No. What are we watching? Okay, he patrols them just to make sure they don't get pushed into awkward situations. Unfortunately, this means the Hellions... Cure. So Cure could have run in and killed like 25 drones. He contented himself with half a dozen creep tumors, which is fine though. Like, at this stage, I can't criticize it. It's my... I'm sorry. It's unfair. It's my default state to be critical of everything Cure does. Because there is a lot of room for improvement, but that's the beauty of it, is he still wins pretty consistently, and it's just based on focus. It really is focused on putting enough units in the right place at the right time, relatively. Not so much on the flashy micro, or the ridiculous APM, but right place, right time. Clear the creep, get the upgrades, start 2-2. Right now, Cure's up a worker against, like, if there was anyone to play Roach Hydra Lurker, it'd be Dark. Like, that is, Dark is maybe the only player right now who can get away with this composition. Most other Zergs get picked apart by drops and eventually whittled down until a tank push can do critical damage. But Dark somehow has a hive done at 8 minutes. I don't know, like, where he got this money, but he's been able to keep Cure at bay. Well, here comes Cure. The thing is, Lurkers are on the way. Vipers are in production. So Cure has to be pretty hasty about this tank push to actually get damage done. Who expects, especially after the roaches at the start, who expects a hive to already be done? That is disgustingly quick. That is startlingly quick. Those Lurkers are going to show up, and Lurkers aren't necessarily a giveaway. The Vipers definitely are. So Cure maybe has to reassess the situation. He's got 3 tanks. He's pushing into a concave here. There's a Banshee on the high ground, somehow curving its shots into the Queens. Yeah, Cure decides, you know what? No. I don't blame him. Those Vipers show up, and that is really early Viper. Like, assuming nothing else happened even. Those are ridiculously early Vipers. He's already got Lurkers and Vipers with 4 bases, which is a very intimidating position to engage, especially without either a maxed out army or at least a dozen or so tanks. Tanks, Liberators, maybe Ghosts. And it looks like at least 2 out of 3 are what Cure's choosing here. There, 2 full energy Vipers. Oh, is he gonna dunk him? Oh no, he just dunks him home. Slaps the blinding clouds, but half the tank. No, Cure! Oh my god! Oh, shredded! Oh, he went forward. They couldn't see it. They just blindly went into the cloud. Even though, like, the only way that could have been more of a disaster if Dark hadn't misclicked the blinding cloud a bit. If the Blinding Cloud had hit all the tanks, that would have just been a one-sided rout. But the Blinding Cloud did miss a couple tanks, which means at least three lurkers have gone down. So that's not nothing. The thing is, it's about the unit composition, and it's about map control. Right now, Cure still has some map control. He's got better upgrades. He's got a maxed out army. He has 4 bases. He loses one of these fights, and he's lost map control, and then Dark's going to run the table. Dark knows exactly what to do if he gets the map. Cure has to be... He's doing it well as he... Oh! Backs off. Most of the lurkers are concentrated here. He's got the Vipers with him, but Cure coming in with a strong push. Without lurkers or Vipers, this push cannot be matched. The Roaches have no chance. The tanks do not need to be sieged here. There need to be some lurkers split off, or Dark is losing this base. Yeah, the Roaches will get obliterated. Cure moving in, splitting off the right amount of units. Dark is trying to retask some lurkers, but the base is gone. A couple tanks dragged in, but any time spent on this, these are expendable. This tank push is holding this position and making things annoying. Well, okay, with no more tanks, that position's pretty held. But here comes Cure. With his trademark methodical play as he slowly moves towards... Now, I once again, he doesn't actually need... That's a big move right there, taking out the base. Right now, that means Dark is anchored to this bottom right base. He's moved off it, and I think he realizes. He's either anchored to that base... This is a gamble. This is a gamble saying, like, I bet you don't have that much at home. There's actually a surprising amount. Blinding Clouds could be good. Abducts are a little bit better. Yanks the tanks into the lurker, shreds them immediately. Cure evacuates, manages to get the SCVs out to the side. Cure has a lot of tanks. This is what Dark is relying on. Cure just kind of hanging out over here. The Zerglings will chase down the SCVs, which will, for better or worse, be joining the tank push soon. Oh, I don't know. He's fighting into the lurkers. The snipes are helping, but he ran out of scans. Dark is exploiting Cure's indecision right now. Dark said, well, I'm losing on the left, I'm losing on the right, and he shoves it up the center. And Cure is just in shock at the moment. This is... Okay, that happened. Cure still has yet to move from this position, but a bunch of SCVs have joined him. Oh, no. Go back to the tanks. Back to the... Oh, my God! Oh, no! Oh, back to the tanks! Oh, well, that was a costly move. Oh. Now, the thing is, for all the strong strategic moves Cure's been making, it's just Dark's decisive lurker pushes here. Now there aren't enough tanks, I don't think. It's kind of close. Well, those turrets that the SCVs put up are helping. Oh, that was a pretty haphazard attack with no Vipers. And the hatch dies. Okay, just like that, Dark... He kind of... Where he confidently thrusted his lurkers up the center, he drunkenly stumbled them over to the right. Like, instead of catching Cure off guard, Cure's been sitting there. He's been camped out there for like 5 minutes now. So, of all the places, suddenly it's Dark's turn to lose a dozen or so workers. Yeah, now Dark is down 30 supply. That was a complete and utter turnaround. And the thing is, this has been all Dark on all sides. Oh my God, 25 lurkers. 25 lurkers. It's hard to fathom seeing 25 lurkers. What has happened so far is Dark has picked every fight. Cure just kind of hangs out, and Dark's like, we're fighting! And sometimes that is good for Dark. Other times, well, it really depends. Because here we are, Dark thrusting up the center again. Yes, I keep using that terminology because it's a very lurker way of doing things. They dunk their face in and then throw spines out of it. Oh, Cure slams the select all army hotkey. Well, maybe not. But... So Dark just gets rid of this base. Cure gonna try to catch him on the retreat. Cure also shoots his own ghost. That might have been a lurker. Parasitic bomb, but where are the lurkers? Most of the lurkers died in the push. Oh, there's a bit of a mess out here. A mess, though. Oh no, Cure was removed from the left side. This is a planetary. Hydras will actually take a decent trade. Cure's just setting up shop over here. The classic Cure summer home. He likes having his tank pushes. Like, the tank pushes are more of an aesthetic choice than they are a decisive military action for Cure sometimes. I mean, look at this. You could put this on the goddamn box. In fact, I think I saw it on the Wings of Liberty box. Units all awkwardly spread out in ways they never act in game, like, except for right now. Like, Blinding Cloud, a bit of an awkward choice here, but the transfuses, the knitting crew sewing back together the lurkers. And now it's just tanks, which makes this really awkward. Well, and that one Marine that he had. The supplies are still surprisingly high for what seems to be everyone losing their units all over the place in this mess of a game. More lurkers. Slicing and dicing. The ghosts are helping. How many ghosts on the field? He's got 9 ghosts. Dark. Oh, but here comes Dark again. Dark up in this, but there's not enough energy on those Vipers. And he's attacking up a ramp. I mean, it's not good. It's a bad idea. Like, I think Dark would have learned what Bronze League heroes have learned, or at least should have learned many times over, is attacking up a ramp in the siege tanks is not the best way to increase the life expectancy of your units. So Dark just shambles up a ramp in the siege tanks again. He's continually pounded it home in the at the center base. But every other side, well, he's running over the tank push. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to put this on the box as well. So Cure will lose those tanks, but we don't even know if Cure knew those tanks existed. He hasn't paid attention to them for, like, the better part of 5 minutes. The tanks are getting involved in this push. The medevacs are nearly out of energy. Not that that'll matter too much if the lurkers get close. Oh my. Oh wow. Yeah. Well, one flank going well for Dark, the other one for Cure. No, don't go down that way. Oh, well. Both players really putting a lot of effort in to take the most splash damage they possibly can. Dark definitely getting the worst end of the stick on this one. In a lower economy situation, that's usually better for the Terran, which has access to mules, and arguably more cost-effective units, though very arguable. No, okay, well, the lurkers are in a good spot, but there are no Vipers that I can see. More lurkers coming up. The scans, does he have enough scans? Another scan, lurkers moving up. They're just going for the tanks. The Ling's tanking some of it. The lurkers on the tanks. The bio army is nowhere to be seen, but Cure grinds him down in game 1. So that was, yes. That was something. There was, after 20-something lurkers dying, Dark giveth and Dark taketh away. That game was all Cure. It was like, that was the tortoise and the hare right there. Cure just slow and steady, just made his way across the map as Dark continually tried to make moves for the sake of it. I truly don't know what Dark was thinking attacking into. Like, you want to hype it up. I'm a caster, okay? Like, we got to commentate. But, like, you don't run up ramps into siege tanks without Vipers. There are a few scenarios where it's almost okay. Like, you have an overwhelming economy and that's their last defensive position. Their tanks are unsieged. Or you're suffering from mental damage. Like, those are all the options. But none of those, I think, were true. And Dark's like, maybe this time my 6 lurkers will counter the 8 siege tanks and 30 supply of bio on the high ground. But not this time. Cure just built his 3... Like, I am taken aback, even. Like, taken aback that Dark was so surprised to find a single Banshee. Dark makes 10 roaches against someone who went 3cc. And then a Banshee shows up. The Banshee is almost obligatory for the exact reason of the potential of Zerglings or roaches, which is otherwise you essentially have no defense against ground. So you have to be obscenely greedy, like maybe a Maru or something, where you just decide, I'm going to go 3cc into double upgrade into Marine Drop, and then you get lucky and blindside them when they only have Hellions. But Kier's like, no, Banshee so I don't die. And then he doesn't. The true blue-collar Terran. The builds are unimaginative. The execution is usually acceptable. And the micro is occasionally present. But when you're up against the flashy players who want to make the big moves, and I do feel it's a bit of like an off-tempo thing as well. Like, if Dark goes a dozen games against Maru or Innovation, he's going to come out, like, having, like, a different... He's going to feel a lot more obligated to attack, because, like, a Maru's going to be always on your back, right? He's always got something. He's got a medevac. Did Cure get a drone kill? What? Who is this man? What is happening? That's not supposed to happen. That wasn't in the script. Okay, well, there you go. And behind it, 3rd Command Center. Oh my god. Oh wait, no, that's the barracks it's flying over. I thought he was going to make a 2nd barracks and do exactly what I said Cure wouldn't do. But no. He gets the 3rd CC in a starport. Oh, coming in, looking for the... No, watch out! That Reaper, he's feeling excited. He got a drone kill. That Reaper feeling it now. And realizes Zergling speed could be finishing soon. Did he actually scout for the 3rd? He did. Okay. But yeah, if you're playing games up against like a Maru is always it's almost a compulsion for Maru to like send a dropout or have a Liberator or something. Just something else out there that he can be microing. Even if it doesn't make that much sense. Like, he needs something just to keep him busy, right? He's fidgeting. He needs to micro. Whereas Cure literally ignored multiple tank pushes for multiple minutes and only acknowledged them again when they were getting run over by Dark's army. Like, he just sat there, he camped out, and he said, "You guys good?" Like, that is just not what you're used to seeing as a Zerg. Cure's doing essentially an identical build. Dark should be seeing that now. I think we'll see... Yeah, Dark is not doing a Roach build. He's getting double Evo. Dark is... Is this going to be actual Lingbane? Can we get Mutas? Muta risk? Yeah, well, it's going to be Ling upgrades. So we're not looking at Roach Lurker again. But this is just full macro Dark. The one who gets a disgusting amount of drones. He's going to have 60 drones in 5 minutes. Cure he's got his build order. Okay. He saw Big Gabe's build on Spawning Tool, and he's like, you know what? I like that one. He's been working on it. He wants to show it off. There's the lair. There's the baneling nest. Dark slaps down a 4th. I think... Well, it's going to depend on the medevac timing. So, in about a minute, Cure's going to have 2 medevacs. I would imagine he adds on an armory for some hellbats. See, he has idle SCVs, just like real human beings. Alright, one Banshee just dies. The other one, maybe not a good time to... Oh, well. A little bit of a miscalculation. Should have drank a little more Red Bull before that. There go the Banshees. Significantly less effect. And behind that, Dark adds not 1, but 2 macro hatches. So we're going to see a significant switch from game 1 here. I think Dark is going only Lingbane. He's got an infestation pit. Oh my god, is he rushing Cracklings? Cracklings are Zerglings with adrenal glands, termed by the players of Brood War, the eloquent players of Brood War, because they attack so fast they, quote, look like they're on crack. So, it was an earlier time. A time when queens could fly and you could only select 12 units at a time. 1 for each year you were old. Artosis. Alright. There's the armory finishing up. He's doing, of course, well, the Dark is a specialist in rushing Hive. He's got 73 drones. He's got 5-6 head. He's going Massling Bane. This is... If there's... One big weakness for Cure is dealing with Banelings outright. He does have Widowmines on the way now. Trademark unit. Widowmines not requiring the pinpoint precision. Just some good zone control, and I might mean the arcade map. Combat Shield's a little on the late side here, but he's getting it. And the Widowmine's on the way. I'm excited to see. I think he'll slap down an Ultra Cavern. But this actually feels like maybe some Vipers, but an Adrenal Glands rush. A Crackling rush from Dark. He's going to get him before to... Oh, Widowmine! I'm pretty goddamn sure that Widowmine killed more Marines than it killed Zerglings. So... So there's Cure's first and probably only foray into drop micro. He gets one traumatized Marine out who just won't get out of the medevac. It's finally forced away. He's not even getting an Ultra Cavern. I love you, Dark. I love you. He'll never hear this, and he'll never return my feelings. He's not fucking around with an Ultra Cavern. I'm sorry, pardon my French, but Clem's not playing, so nobody can understand it. It's literally just Lingbane. Okay, well, he gets it now, but only after the Adrenal Glands. The first round of max out is just mass Zergling Baneling. Like, at this point, you got so much money. Okay. How many hatches? He got 132 Zerglings and counting. Oh, he's just gonna roll him over. At least that's the intent. 52 more lings. You gotta put us at nearing 200. You combine the blings in? Oh, Brenda! Oh. This is why we don't drop Cure. Cure is finishing 2-2. I don't know what's happening back there. Oh my god! The biggest Widowmine hits in the world wouldn't save you now. That is so many Zerglings. 150. They don't even need their Adrenal Glands. Everything's in medevacs. Like, Widowmines? Whatever. The mines run down and run out. The wall is down. The Zerglings are everywhere. Where is Cure? Half his army is in medevacs, the other half is in shock, and the other half is dead. And that kind of math is what got us this far, because this isn't nearly enough. as Dark essentially monobattles Zerglings to an outright and overwhelming Zerg victory. Okay, well, Dark. Yeah. That was a change of pace. Now, it's tough being in Dark's army. But somebody's got to do it. Wow. Dark just no respect whatsoever. And that's part of why Terrans go 3cc as many times. Zergs will let you get away with it. Because Zergs want to do... That was a Zerg fantasy right there. Like, we all know Terrans fantasize all over the place. And they're very vocal and adamant about it. They're like, we want to be able to play mech and bio equally. We should have 2 equal unit compositions. And also Protoss should be banned from everything forever. But okay, Terrans. But Zerg players, like, they got a lot of options on the table. But seeing that many Zerglings, the true heart of the swarm. I do appreciate Cure, with I think, an appropriate response to that match. He's now going to Proxy Rex. So he's learned something from his predecessors. Yep. Here we are. Okay, well, Dark is not sending his overlords in this pathing. It's not a mistake, it's just you gotta hedge your bets. You only have so many overlords. Will the defense be strong? Dark has gone for a greedy hatch first. I think he got those drones before the... At least one before the boom. Maybe right after. Actually, no, it's not that greedy. Though, if Cure plays this right, the first time that Dark sees it should be when the bunker's nearing completion. Oh, well, he didn't send the SCVs. He's actually waiting for the first Marines. Dark has no idea this is happening. He's coming back now. It's a little late though. He's gonna see it with the hatchery finishing, and oh, here we go. Alright, Spinecrawler, all of the drones. And this is why you usually want to try to get a bunker a little earlier. But now the drones are coming. He's just assuming this is a 2-Rex. Oh, he gets okay, he's mineral walking through. The Marines suddenly find themselves surrounded. A rock in a hard place. Who's rushing who? The Predator drones are on the hunt. Another Marine dies. 2 drones have died. Dark Micro's back. 3rd drone. High ground helping a bit. 4 drones. But a bunker finishes. A Spinecrawler will as well. And with the Spinecrawler and a Queen, we find ourselves in that awkward situation where, well, I like what Cure's doing. If he gets this Overlord, that'd be huge. He's not going to get it, though. Dark on that little pervert pillar there. You can watch, wait. Mostly watch. I like the 2 Reaper follow-up. Since it was only a 2-Rex, you have a little bit more opportunity to go for gas. And with a couple Reapers to mix things in, there's not going to be a bunch of Queens. There's almost certainly no Zergling speed. So Reapers are a real option here. Obviously, you can't go in the front. The Queens will defend the main. The Spinecrawler will box out of the natural. I don't know where the Reapers are going. They're going to take the long way. Okay. Wasting very precious time right now. Okay, and the Queens are here now. They're ready. Hello. Finally some creep! Oh, 1 grenade. Okay. Well, this is not the, looks like we're gonna get that 3cc after all. So 2 drones is maybe not as much as Kira was looking for with that. The thing is here, what Cure has successfully done, the Reapers, while they might... One, he can deny a third temporarily. The Reapers also got a scout. He saw how much gas was mined. He saw Zergling speed was on the way, but there's probably not a Roach Warren. It's just a Queen-based defense here. Which means... Cure is safe to go 3cc, so this is that awkward situation where though the Terran was the one who proxied, they are going to have map control and a somewhat better economy. Assuming Dark 16 Zerglings don't get in and do terrible, terrible damage, which is assuming a lot at this stage. So 16 Lings right now. Oh, he was really expecting more Reapers, wasn't he? Yeah, Dark's like, why would you just make 2? And that is a good question, but Cure's like, well, I don't want to commit too much, because then I have to micro these Reapers. And that's fair, right? I gotta... The Hellions. Well, here comes Dark. Surprise! Oh my god! Just murders those Hellions. Wow. Those Zerglings. Taking no guff. 4 drones die, but for 4 Hellions and a Reaper is, at this stage of the match, probably not a worthy trade, especially considering that was all the attempt to deny creep spread. Now, and also the Zerglings are just a threat after killing the Hellions. The Banshee has to stay at home. There's a lair on the way. The stench of Mutas. Indeed. Now, the lair is not yet complete, but I can smell it. Let us see. The Mutas. Dark! Dark! Where do you build it? Oh, hello. Mutas! He was getting his economy set up. I had the right idea. It was cosplaying as a spine crawler, okay? Cure's put together a double medevac drop behind it. Stim's on the way. No upgrades otherwise, though. Not incredibly ambitious. Still a creep killer here. Overall, well, if the Spire gets scouted, that's significant for Kier. This is a somewhat dangerous push. How many queens? 7 queens. Now, there's not combat shields, +1 anything. Oh, that's enough queens. Alright, get off our lawn. Come on, ladies. These boys are getting all rowdy again. Do they have any upgrades? No! Say it. One is done. The Spire is done. 5 mutas in production. I'm sorry, I spoke 5 seconds too soon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 mutas in production. Close enough. And now we get to the next. I don't know if Cure, because remember, on Dark's vision, there's still 2 barracks up there, but I'm pretty sure he figured out what's happening. On Cure's vision, this could just be a Massling Bane play. And without combat shields, it's not a... Like, against the Banelings, it's not great, but you drop under a critical mass of Marines, and then the mutas just win the fight. And with combat shields, that's a lot easier to make happen. Also, there is the small fact that Cure has not even... Oh. Did he just scan? Oh, he scanned for the base, and I think he caught the mutas. But a little too late! The turrets began! Well, he boxes out with Marines. The tank push sets up and is camping out here for now. The Banshee... Was the Banshee here when he scanned? I don't think so. Oh, that is not much of an army. Mr. Cure, come out and play. Uh-oh. If I was in Cure's army right now, I'd be very stressed out. The tanks, tanked by the queens. Here come the Banes. Everything's horribly dead. What survives? A couple medevacs and most of the Marines they can fit. The mutas. Oh no. 1, 2. Almost a third. Surprising it wasn't more. Cure not stimming quite in time. But losing a couple mutas for free there. And this is not an insignificant push. The thing is, the mutas delayed the upgrade, so Dark didn't have the ability to press the issue. Losing any mutas hurts your momentum. And Cure, if there's one thing he does, is he sticks to the basics. He's got production. He's a little supply blocked right now, actually, but that Ling Bane surround is coming in. There's actually still kind of deja vu. This isn't enough army. Dark has way too much. Here comes Dark from a couple sides. Muta's coming in as well. The Queen's getting involved. Reinforcements are here, but a little too late. Methodical splits, and Dark is forced to retreat again as Cure pushes up with another group of units. The problem is, without creep, as long as Cure is set up in a decent location, there's just not the production out of Dark. It's literally a larva issue. As he tries to put enough on the field to compete, you don't want to be trading mutas. The Baneling's doing pretty well on creep there. 2-2 isn't even started for Dark, and this is a huge issue right now. Cure's less than a minute out of his 2-2 upgrade, and he just killed Dark's 4th. Dark has an alternative 4th over here, which would ideally be a 5th base. But Cure, while he's losing battles, he's winning the war because he prevented any real economic damage ever since the half-hearted proxy racks. The tanks, I don't know if they're going to move forward or back. He's backing them up. Reinforcements cut off by the 22 Mutalisks. The Muta's finding a couple of them shaved off here. One turret, I guess, is enough. Cure's finished 2-2. He's not going to be deterred. Nor should he. At this stage, with a double upgrade advantage, all you have to do is make sure your Marines don't all die to Banelings. Alright, you do that, and you're in a pretty good shape. Because it's not going to get better from here for Dark. Without the upgrades, without Hive Tech, he's getting Burrow, so maybe Bane Mines. Which is an even more desperation play than this sort of backstabbing he's doing with the mutas right now. Dark has to keep rotating around to figure out what 4th base is going to actually stay intact. Cure doing a good job of slowly but surely knocking him down. And as he gets closer, like Dark is actually higher up on supply. The problem is that the value of that supply is less and less. Just the upgrades. On top of the fact now there are Thors mixed in, which makes it that much harder for the mutas to get involved. There's no drilling claws yet for Widow Mines, but Widow Mines are being mixed in. 3-3, Cure not skipping a beat. Uh-oh. A lot of things happen there. Widow Mines, Banelings, all getting involved to kill 11 SCVs. One Marine getting tapped on the shoulder by his comrades. Cure very good about hiding those mines. Cure, he's camping out. The mutas are to get map control, so ideally you can eventually overwhelm the Terran. The mutas don't win games on their own, not at this level. But they're a huge factor in it. The problem is Cure has mitigated that. Gonna drop. Oh, come on. Oh my god, he almost lost it. And then he loses the Thor, so that was. Can't do that too much. You gotta be careful about that one. It does feel. Well, Dark has not even gone for an infestation, but he keeps. I think this is another example of Dark, like. He's trained to play against Maru. or against like a Beyond, who would be breathing down his neck with Marines on the edge of the creep. And that's why there's no Hive. That's why Dark is almost desperate with the mutas. Cure has not sent out a drop. He hasn't pushed. He's almost done with 3-3. I'm not sure what he's waiting for, but he's just kind of chilling. All right. Like at this point, I actually don't know. Maybe he's not maxed out yet somehow. Yeah, Dark, it really feels like Dark is waiting for the hammer to drop. And Cure's just hasn't even begun swinging. He's just building more turrets. He's Bronze Leaguers, be proud. The TPM begins to raise here. Oh, the Widow Mine! The classic. But at some point, Cure needs to attack. Like, at some point, Dark will make his way to Hive Tech. It's surprisingly late already, especially compared to the previous games. Like, go. Attack. Attack him. You can't win without attacking. He's getting high-sec auto-tracking building armor. Gonna fill in, like, rapid reignition. Actually, rapid reignition thrusters for medevacs. Alright, attacking to the left and the right. We've seen this move before. It's been effective before, though. Trying to draw Dark back. A bunch of bio here. Here's where the Banelings are. Oh my god. And the Muta's at the back. The Banelings doing as Banelings do. Oh my. The Mutas, though, having a real rough day over here. 26 Mutas. There were definitely over 20 Mutas. Now there are not. So Cure getting melted on one side. But just cutting down the Mutas on another. And the Mutas are what Dark has built much of this game on. So trading Marines, technically, for Mutas is a win for Cure. Because Dark still doesn't have Hive Tech. He finished the Hive, but that doesn't solve anything in and of itself. You don't get anything for finishing Hive. You get a pat on the back and a waste of a couple hundred minerals and gas. You need actual upgrades or units, like Vipers or Adrenal Glands. Otherwise, there's no point. +3 mech armor is on the way, as Cure is really making sure he crosses his T's, dots his I's, and burrows his Widow Mines as effectively as possible. We've seen this before. Dark sets up for the surround, but Cure is maxed out with better upgrades. So here come the Banelings. Widow Mines trying to get involved, not finding connections. Muta's making their way through. Enough Marines at the back line. Another Thor on the way. Dark back at nearly 200 supply. Cure knocked down 50. Overall, though, in the units lost, Dark has now lost 3,000 more gas. And that's the real tell here. And a couple thousand more minerals as well. That's what's hurting at the moment. Drawing out the Widow Mines. Dark desperate to get them. There's only one bruised Widow Mine left. A hit that hits more Terran than Zerg. We've seen it before. The Marines picked up. I'm not sure where they're going to go. More Widow Mines burrow. Dark runs over another army. There better be enough production for Cure, or he might actually get pushed back to his production, and that's how you lose games like this. No Adrenal Glands yet. The biggest single damage upgrade for Zerglings. The thing is, Zerglings don't get much chance to... Typical group project over here for the Mutas. Yeah, you got it, bro. You know this thing has a cooldown. Brenda! No! Really? 18 minutes? Ultralisk Cavern. Cure may have... Well, he's not playing with his food. He takes his time, but... It feels like he's letting an opportunity... Well, it may have already slipped. As Cure was maxed and is no longer. Great Widow Mine hits. Another one's pretty good. But Dark has rebounded. He's back on his feet. He's got the unit count. He's starting to run over the bio. Liberators are getting involved. A Thor goes down. And as Dark gets closer and closer to 3-3, like, it goes in tilt. Oh, that Widow Mine. Found some damage on the Mutas, but what else does Cure actually have? That's it. That's his army. He's got a Thor. He's got another dozen supply or so of bio in production. He scans. He's like, uh-oh. I guess I have to attack that. The problem is, there was about 5 minutes where Cure could have really pressed the issue, taken bad trades, but there was almost no such thing as a bad trade. But now that Dark has nearly his 3-3, he's maxed out. He's got all these bases. Like, it's a little late for the Liberators to protect this. There need to be some godlike Widowmines and some... Honestly, at this point, it's getting to the mistakes from Dark part of the game. Oh, the Widowmines kill a medevac full of bio. The Mutas finish off the rest, and Cure taps it out. Dark holds. He keeps them busy. And Cure... He never finished the fight. There was such a wide open window. But sometimes that methodical, long-winded style does end up biting you. And here, Cure, like, when you have 3-3 against 2-2 and you're maxed out, you have to go. You have to go. You attack. You're a pacifist at heart. And that all came off a really solid follow-up from the proxy rack, so a bit of a disappointing one from Cure there. But it's time before... Well, Dark's on match point, so obviously at this stage we got to have a quick message from our sponsors. So we'll be right back in just a moment. Pause that one to be awesome. Hey everybody, I'm Winter and I'm here to tell you, if you didn't already, like and subscribe because it's important for our corporate overlords to know that there's a real human being behind that screen, and you can make all the difference in getting dozens more people to watch these amazing videos and maybe make you feel less alone on the inside. Like and subscribe. Thank you, good luck, and have fun. Thank you guys for sticking around. To match point of the ESL Open Cup Finals, Korea 63. On the top right, Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark. Every game has been all dark. There's been no light here. Game 1 was Dark throwing away his army multiple times, allowing Cure to step forward and claim a victory. Game 2 was Dark making several hundred Zerglings in like 10 minutes and just running Cure over. And Game 3 was Cure once again putting himself... Like, he decided, he pulled into the parking lot of victory. He checked his phone. He made sure his windows were rolled up, which who rolls up windows? Maybe Cure does. He's still got a 1993 Honda Civic. Because that's the kind of player Cure is. He made sure, like, he has one of those little things that makes sure the sun doesn't make the car too hot. He got out of the car, locked it, and he went and returned a few of the carts because he's a nice guy like that. He returned them to the cart area because they were in some of the parking spots because people are dicks. And then he went up, and right as he got there, a bunch of mutas flew in and murdered him. So, a rough day for Cure. Almost got to the victory store, but not quite. SCV gets in. So if you're like, this is looking more and more like one of those series. Cure is quickly becoming potentially my favorite player. Because while he obviously, I think it's pretty obvious, is not as mechanically skilled as many players. I don't think through lack of effort, but like, he's the blue-collar Terran. He doesn't try to play like a crazy different style or sneak wins off people, right? Like, you'll see some players that be like, well, obviously I can't beat Dark or Zest or something. And they'll be like, well, I'm going to try this build. Cure's like, no. I like the 3cc. And here we are. Even in the Proxy Rex game, that was like the least committed Proxy Rex almost ever. He's trying to duke it out here. He's playing with the big boys. And he's got it too. It's so hard to figure out. I think part of it is Dark being a little thrown off, but also Cure. I don't know. Why do I feel? I feel like Twitch chat. Like, I'm going to coach Cure, all right? I'm going to tell him that when you're maxed out with all your upgrades, things can only get worse for you if you sit in your base. But Cure's like, watch how many turrets I can build at my natural. I'm like, oh. Okay. How to... Good job. Oh, you got high-sec auto-tracking, too. Cool. That's pretty sick. Did you know that takes did you know that ruins more blue-collar jobs? Because when you get high-sec auto-tracking, the guy in the turret gets replaced by robot technology. Did you know there's a guy in the missile turret? But once you get high-sec auto-tracking, it's just replaced by, like, an electronic screen. So really, is that what we want? Do we really want high-sec auto-tracking Cure? Maybe you should hand those guys a gun, walk across the map, and go kill Dark before he maxes out on Hive Tech 5 minutes after you did. Dark with pre-5-minute evos. I think he's going Zerglings again. I've got a strong suspicion. It worked really well in Game 2. It definitely went against what Cure likes to do. And he really struggled. 1-1 on the way so quick. Dark is at 60 drones with 1-1 at under 5.5 minutes. Getting a fourth. Can I get a macro hatch, Sir Dark of Zerg? Maybe soon. Uh-oh. Wait, Hellbats. Hellbats! Okay. Actually, there's no Baneling Nest. Oh, this is a problem. Those are queens, though. Queens are amazing. Are they that amazing? The Spore Crawler is perfectly placed. The queen's microing. Brenda, it's getting hot in here! So transfuse all your drones! Oh, wait. Oh. Okay, the Banshee ran out of energy. While a couple queens will... Did Dark just defend it with only queens? I mean, the Lings would definitely serve to... Yeah, well... That looked like it might end the game, but instead, Cure lost everything, and Dark lost 3 drones. Dark lost 2 queens, 56 Zerglings, and 3 drones. Uh-huh. So you guys might, if you haven't yet checked out my SC2 early game tier list video, a lot of people are like, Zerg only has 1 S tier early game unit? How underpowered? Guess what was an S tier? Hellbats. Brenda! So little energy. The transfuse is all used. Okay, here's some more Hellbats. I wonder if it'll go better this time with less Banshees and up against Banelings. Oh, Stim is done. Ah! Jumping a couple queens here. This is the 4th base after all this. Cure has a 3rd, okay? But his 1-1 is incredibly late. Uh-oh, watch out, watch out, watch out! Oh, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought, but... where are you going? Where are you going? Where do you think you're going to go? Just gonna waddle out. S tier. Hashtag Yas Queens. So Cure lost. He's going Blue Flame Hellbat now. This is the build. This is what he's going for. He's not mixing in the Widow Mines, he's mixing it up. He's going back to the future with a Wings of Liberty style build. Well, this is more Heart of the Swarm with the Hellbats. But I'm not entirely convinced that successfully slightly larger iterations of this will be dealing with significantly better armies out of Dark. Dark is now awkwardly supply blocked for a moment, and Cure has a lot of supply. Like, maybe Cure brings back Hellbats, okay? Hell back to the future. What, Jimmy? Here comes Cure. Kind of a signature now are these 2-prong pushes. They're not particularly, like, dangerous, but he threatens 2 areas at once. And over here, the Queen's getting caught off guard. Dark. Cure, where are you going? He's taking the... Oh, no. Oh, no. Half the units went the wrong way. Oh. Oh. So, the idea was good. The execution was pretty fucking terrible. He lost the entirety of the left flank while the right flank was in need of a new cartography lesson. If this double drop or these 2 medevac push had gone directly to the base while the left flank was being dealt with, the base likely would have died. But now instead of 2 flanks, this is a 1-pronged fork. Which is not the most agile of tools. Not a single Widow Mine. I'm wondering, well, he's building, is that 4 tanks at a time? Oh, a classic flex Terran build. Cure breaking out a Quadra factory build. He's got 4 barracks. Quite a bio-curious player indeed. He's got +2 mech weapons as well. So Cure is really just like breaking everything out. He's like, well, it's gonna go bad next week. So we've got these leftover tank builds. Where did he get 4 factories from? I don't know. He's got 4, like, so despite everything, Cure has not been touched economically. He has 80 SCVs. He's been producing. He's got a dozen production facilities he's working with now. And suddenly, like, a dozen tanks are gonna show up almost out of nowhere. Like, he built all these tanks in the last minute or 2. And, like, well, that is a lot of Hydra Ling Bane, but it's also a lot of tanks. Decent splits on the Marines, holding the ground. The tanks are laying into this. The splash damage. Dark underestimated the tanks. Oh, the Blitzkrieg. And suddenly a drop finding an opportunity. All the Banelings are going to Cure. Strikes back. No one expects the mass tank push after throwing away dozens of Hellbats. Cure. Go! 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 Forward! Ah! Slow and steady. Loses the race, but I don't... Oh, okay, I don't... Alright, at some point Cure will decide on a trajectory. A few Hellbats will help to defend against a lot of these. This is a very awkward push over here. It appears Cure... Oh, he gets away, but where... Oh, you're going... Ah! What a save! What a move. Get some SCVs out. Able to kill the one lurker that was here for some reason. And Dark is definitely... He's been sideswiped by the tanks. Bamboozled. He definitely did not expect the magnitude of tanks that Cure has brought to the table. It's like, how about you bring a bottle of wine for dinner? And Cure comes in with a barrel. It's like... It's gonna be a fun night. And also explains this entire match. Cure. Whatever happened to those other two medevacs? Are these those two medevacs? It's unclear here. Meanwhile, one Marine. Big Gabe versus the Lurker Den. Not quite gonna get it. There's a lot of bio. The drop at the back. A good move there. That is quite a tank line, but also that's a lot of Vipers. A lot of energy. More than enough to render the tanks obsolete. And then allow them to be overrun. But Cure has so many tanks. He's lost now 11 tanks, got 10 more. He's pumping out tanks just all over the place right here. The Red Army, with plenty of expendable tanks, is looking to Branda! No! The one place without creep. Cure trying to get every queen, but instead he gets only one, which is, you know, a very Cure way to go about this. So many tanks. But unfortunately, about half of them are unsieged, and the rest can't without risking a blinding cloud. So, yeah, and tell your friends what happened here. Meanwhile, though, the drop finds an opportunity. I think Dark had a lurker back there. It was either killed or moved away. And this will drag Dark off Cure's back for a moment. Maybe we siege the tanks. Okay. That's still a lot of lurkers, though. 8 lurkers against 6 tanks. Oh my, those Marines very happy that the lurkers unburrowed. More tanks. Oh, the lurkers. Gotta scan! There's no scan! Unfortunately, Dark is just thrusting up the center, which is a signature move for him. Dark is a very thrust up the center kind of guy. And he's thrust his way directly into winning the ESL Pro Tour Open Cup. Kind of just dismantling his teammate in the process. I kind of liked what Cure was going for, but that's a classic Cure mini. It's like, I see what you're going for there. I like it. Not enough, but like... making for some... And that's what we always try to show. Some good games for the fans. And Cure comes through. Once again. Thank you for watching the ESL Pro Tour. I hope you enjoyed my breakdown of it. Like and subscribe and ring the bell, leave a comment. Why is Cure your hero? That's what we're doing. So, thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun. Stay tuned.